Alright guys, so in this video we're bringing you 5 fragrance clones that are so good they'll be able to replace their more expensive designer original. So we always say that in fragrance you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to smell good. You can get your hands on very quality, luxurious smelling fragrances and you can save yourself some money in the process. Okay, so all 5 of these are going to touch on the whole spectrum. Be able to get these off of a discounter and you'll really be able to put a great collection together for a really affordable price. We're gonna get right into it. So the first fragrance we have on deck today is a fragrance that is a clone of this fragrance here, Ultra Male by Jean Paul Gaultier. And Jean Paul Gaultier is largely known as the king of clubbing fragrances, if you will, one of the top compliment pulling fragrances. But the downside to it is even if you get off a discount, you're still getting it for about $100 roughly, especially for a big bottle. And maybe if you're building a collection now, you don't want something that is so mass pleasing. So if you still want Jean Paul Gaultier, that's still that same DNA, instead of getting the original, you can go with this one here from the brand of Afnan. This one here is called Afnan 9 PM. So Afnan 9 PM is still gonna bring you that great Ultra Male DNA. You're gonna get that apple, that cinnamon, that lavender, those fruity notes mixed with that nice gourmand and sweet vanilla. This one, as far as compliment pulling factor, still is great as far as scent quality and as far as accuracy, about 90 to 95%. Even the longevity is pretty good. So you're gonna get that patchouli, you're gonna get that vanilla, that amber, that lavender. So you're gonna get all the things that are Ultra Male, but you can get this on a discount. You can get it on Amazon as well for $25. So get Ultra Male for less than $30, all right? Great selection. All right, now this next fragrance that we're going to be talking about is a clone of this fragrance here. This one is Le Male Elixir. And Le Male Elixir is definitely one of my favorites in my collection. I love the whole Jean Paul Gaultier line of fragrances, but they are still running full retail as far as their prices. Well, I got my hands on this one via TikTok. TikTok actually made me get it, and I was able to get it on Amazon for a great price, and I've been blown away since I've gotten it. It's also been a great comment puller for me. This is from the brand of Rayhan, and this fragrance we're talking about is Rayhan's Elixir. So Rayhan's Elixir is gonna come out with that mint, it's gonna come out with that benzoin and that vanilla and tonkamine. Truth be told, about 90 to 95% accuracy as far as these two fragrances. The only difference really truly is that the Le Male Elixir is gonna have that honey note, this one won't. But as far as accuracy, as far as longevity, as far as scent quality, otherwise, this would be a really great alternative, and it's only $40 roughly, as opposed to Le Male Elixir is going for around $99 to $120 depending on what size you get. Nonetheless, if you want a fragrance clone that you can really replace Le Male Elixir with, and you'll still get the same comment pulling factor for only $40, go with this one here, Rayhan's Elixir. All right, now this next fragrance, we're really gonna try to save you a buck with this because we're gonna be replacing one of the top niche fragrances out on the market. And this one actually has quite a few clones, but this is probably one of the more accurate ones that I have in my collection. One of the ones I still got a full-ish bottle of in my collection. So the fragrance we're talking about replacing is this right here. This is Parfums de Marly Layton, and I have Layton Exclusive. And the fragrance we're gonna substitute it for is from the brand of Al Haramain, and this fragrance here is called Al Haramain's Detour Noir. So Detour Noir is gonna come at us with that apple, that mandarin orange, that vanilla, that sandalwood, that pepper, as well as that cardamom as well in the base. So a really nice substitute for Parfums de Marly Layton. Detour Noir goes for $30 on discounters, Joma Shop, as well as the easiest place to get it. I think even Amazon has it for about $30, $35. So if you want a nice Layton clone, you want that nice Layton DNA, but you don't want to pay $200 to $300 for it, this would be a great substitute. Or this would be a great fragrance to kind of get your nose on it, see if you even like the Layton DNA first before you go out, try to blind buy it, all right? But definitely great selection, great comment pulling factor, great CI's longevity to this fragrance. Definitely one I put my stamp of approval by. All right, now the next fragrance we're gonna be talking about is one that I seldomly mention on the channel, but it's still probably one of my favorite fragrances. I just don't get the chance to wear it as much because I live in a warm weather city. So the fragrance we're talking about replacing is this one here by Maison Margiela. This one is called By the Fireplace. And we're gonna replace Maison by the Fireplace with this here from the brand of Armaf. This one here is called Amir Oud Intense Oud, okay? So Amir Oud Intense Oud is gonna be a very woodsy version of By the Fireplace, but it still largely gets a lot of the same reminiscence and the same resemblance of that fragrance. In my opinion, it's just done a little bit more woodsy, okay? So you're gonna have woods, you're gonna have oud, you're gonna have musk, you're gonna have that sandalwood, and you're gonna get that vanilla and sugar, okay? So it's not as marshmallowy sweet as you would get from maybe By the Fireplace. But other than that, that's a great alternative to By the Fireplace, where Maison Margiela's replica is gonna go for $120 to $150 roughly. Last time I looked, and that's on a discounter. You can get Intense Oud for $30, $35. And really, that's even high. I mean, I've seen it as low as $25. So a great trial if you're trying to look at, By the Fireplace. You can try this one out and then see if you really want to just pull the trigger on the full Fireplace. All right, last fragrance of the day. We're gonna actually talk about a timeless classic in my collection, but it's still one that is valid even in 2024. So the fragrance we're gonna be replacing is our Bleu de Chanel. Right now, many people will say, well, Bleu de Chanel isn't that kind of played out. Everybody's got Bleu de Chanel. Yeah, it's true, but Bleu de Chanel is always going to be one of those DNAs that will garner you compliments. Even women still to this day love it, despite the fact that everybody has it. And you don't need to be paying Bleu de Chanel prices because there are alternatives out there. But at the end of the day, we're going to go with this one here. This one's from the brand of Al Haramain, and this one here is called Al Haramain's Amber Oud Blue. All right, so Al Haramain Amber Oud Blue is gonna come out with that burst, gonna come out with those woodsy notes, that same citrusy woods, geranium, ginger that you're gonna get from Bleu de Chanel. Nonetheless, really good alternative, really good lasting power sillage. This one is gonna remind you of more so Bleu de Chanel's Eau de Toilette, right? Not the Eau de Parfum, where it's a little bit more citrusy in my opinion, and not the Parfum, where it's a little bit more spicy in that one, okay? Eau de Toilette really gives me that nice subtle balance, and I think this one would be a great alternative for Bleu de Chanel. You don't need to be paying Bleu de Chanel $170 prices anymore, unless you really just need to have Bleu de Chanel in your collection. Maybe you're out of your bottle, or maybe if you just want to have a timeless classic and you need that, absolutely. But if you don't need to be paying Bleu de Chanel prices, this one you can get your hands on and it'll be $40 to $50, way more affordable. But let's recap it. So again, if we want to replace Eau Thermale, you're gonna go with this one here, off 9 p.m. If you want to replace Le Male Elixir, you can go with this here, Rayhan's Elixir. If you want to replace your Leighton, you can go with this one here, Detour Noir. If you want to replace By the Fireplace, Amir Oud Intense Oud. And if you want to replace Bleu de Chanel, go with this one here, Amber Oud Blue Edition. There you go, guys. That is 5 of the top fragrance clothes that can replace your original. Again, get your hands on this. Remember, fragrance does not have to cost you an arm and a leg. You can get your hands on really great fragrances, really good deals, really good discounts, and you will be able to be the best smelling person in the room. But that'll do it for today. Again, I appreciate all you guys for listening, tapping with the channel. Subscribe to the channel down below. Comment any videos you want me to do, any fragrances you want me to talk about. We'll get it done for you. Much love.